The derelict discovery. The Horizon salvage station hung like a rusted jewel against the infinite blackness of deep space. Massive gravitational stabilizers hummed beneath its sprawling metal framework, a testament to human engineering in the most unforgiving environment imaginable. Kai Rodriguez moved between massive cargo holds, his weathered hands tracing the contours of forgotten technology, each piece a memory of some long-abandoned mission. At 35, Kai had spent more of his life among discarded spacecraft and fragmented technological remnants than anywhere else. His reputation as the most skilled salvage expert in the Outer Rim was hard-earned. Where others saw junk, he saw potential. Where most saw impossible challenges, he saw puzzles waiting to be solved. The station's central processing bay was a cathedral of mechanical wonder. Holographic displays flickered with incoming data from various scanning arrays, mapping the vast debris fields that stretched for millions of kilometers. Automated drones zipped back and forth, carrying fragments of destroyed ships, abandoned mining equipment, and the occasional mysterious artifact that defied immediate classification. Incoming anomalous signal, announced Aria, the station's central AI system. Her voice was crisp, devoid of emotion but laden with precision. Unidentified energy signature detected in Sector 7 Gamma. Quantum resonance patterns do not match any known spacecraft design. Kai's eyes narrowed. In his decades of salvage work, unidentified was a word that promised either incredible discovery or spectacular danger. He pulled up the scanning data, his fingers dancing across holographic interfaces that responded to the slightest touch. The signal was unlike anything he'd encountered. Most spacecraft left predictable energy trails, remnants of fusion drives, quantum stabilizers, or antimatter containment systems. This signature was different. It pulsed with an almost organic rhythm, like a heartbeat trapped between dimensions. Aria, enhance resolution on the signal's origin point, Kai commanded, pulling up a three-dimensional star map that expanded around him. The hologram zoomed into a region typically avoided by most salvage operations. It was a graveyard of sorts, a massive debris field where countless ships had met their final resting place. Collisions, stellar radiation, and the unforgiving nature of space had transformed the area into a graveyard of technological dreams. Something glinted within the chaos. A shape that didn't conform to the typical angular designs of human or known alien spacecraft. Its outline suggested something older, more complex. Curves that seemed to defy traditional engineering principles, surfaces that appeared to shimmer even in the static holographic representation. "Prepare recovery drone Alpha 9, Kai said, his voice steady but tinged with an excitement he rarely allowed himself to feel. "We're going to investigate." The recovery drone was a marvel of human engineering. Equipped with quantum resonance scanners, molecular integrity analyzers, and a suite of specialized extraction tools, it could safely retrieve objects from the most challenging environments. As it deployed from the station's launch bay, Kai watched its trajectory with the concentration of a surgeon. Hours passed. The drone sensors transmitted a continuous stream of data, each transmission more puzzling than the last. Traditional scanning methods seemed to slip off the object, like water off a perfectly smooth surface. Its composition defied immediate categorization, not quite metal, not quite energy, existing in some liminal state between matter and information. When the first clear image came through, Kai felt something he hadn't experienced in years, genuine surprise. The spacecraft, if one could call it that, looked less like a constructed vehicle and more like a living entity preserved in mechanical form. Intricate patterns that seemed to move even when stationary covered its surface. Sections that appeared crystalline one moment became translucent the next, revealing complex internal structures that seemed to pulse with an inner light. "What are you?" Kai whispered, more to himself than to Aria. The recovery drone's mechanical arms extended, preparing to make first contact. The moment its sensors touched the surface, something extraordinary happened. A wave of energy rippled outward, not destructive, but communicative. For just a moment, Kai could have sworn he saw something like a memory flash across the drone's transmission, fragments of a journey, a civilization, a purpose far beyond human comprehension. The salvage station systems flickered. For a brief instant, every display showed the same complex, swirling pattern, a message, or perhaps a greeting, from something that had waited an impossibly long time to be found. Kai Rodriguez knew, with absolute certainty, that nothing would be the same after this moment. Awakening secrets. The next 48 hours were a blur of intense scientific investigation. Kai had requisitioned the station's most advanced research bay, sealing off an entire section to prevent any potential contamination or unexpected energy emissions from the discovered vessel. Dr. Elena Vasquez, the station's lead xenotechnological researcher, stood beside Kai, her eyes wide with a mixture of professional excitement and scientific caution. Holographic displays surrounded the artifact, each layer of scanning revealing more questions than answers. "It's not just a spacecraft," Elena muttered, adjusting her quantum interface gloves. "It's more like a living system. Look at these energy patterns, they're responding to our observation." Indeed, the vessel seemed to pulse with a subtle luminescence. Wherever the research team's scanning beams touched its surface, the crystalline structures would shift, realigning in complex geometric patterns that defied conventional understanding of material science. "Arya," Kai called out, "run a comprehensive spectral analysis. Cross-reference with every known technological database." The AI's response was unusually hesitant. "Partial match detected. Incomplete records suggest technological markers consistent with the Vortex civilization, a species believed to have disappeared over 3 millennia ago." Elena's breath caught. The Vortex civilization was more legend than fact, a theoretical species mentioned in fragmentary archaeological records, known for technology so advanced it bordered on the mystical. Most xenoarchaeologists considered them a myth, a placeholder for unexplained technological anomalies. As if responding to their conversation, the vessel's surface began to shimmer. A holographic projection erupted from its central section, not a typical data stream, but a complex three-dimensional representation that seemed to tell a story. Fragments of star systems flashed by. Massive energy constructs that looked like cities suspended in space. Beings of pure energy interacting with mechanical structures. And then, abruptly, darkness. A catastrophic event that seemed to consume entire civilizations. "It's a memory," Kai whispered. "The ship is showing us its history." The projection focused on a singular point, a small, almost insignificant blue-green planet. Earth. But not as they knew it now. An earlier version, seen through alien perspectives. Primitive, yet possessing a spark of potential that caught the attention of something vast and incomprehensible. Suddenly, the projection collapsed. The bay's systems flickered, and for a moment, absolute silence descended. "What just happened?" Elena asked, her scientific composure momentarily shaken. Kai's hand hovered near the vessel. "I think," he said slowly, "it's trying to communicate. But we don't yet understand its language." The station's external sensors began picking up unusual energy signatures. Something was responding to the vessel's awakening, distant, but definitely present. A resonance that suggested they were no longer alone in this investigation. Arya's voice cut through the tension. "Warning. Unknown quantum transmission detected. Origin point cannot be determined. Recommendation, immediate containment protocol." But Kai knew containment was no longer an option. Whatever this vessel was, whatever secrets it held, they had already been set in motion. The discovery was bigger than the Horizon salvage station. Bigger, perhaps, than humanity itself. The first step of a journey neither Kai nor humanity was prepared for had just begun. The hidden signal. The quantum transmission continued to pulse, a rhythmic heartbeat of data that defied conventional communication protocols. Within the secured research bay of the Horizon salvage station, tension mounted with each passing hour. Kai Rodriguez stood before a massive holographic display, tracing the intricate patterns of the alien signal. Beside him, Dr. Elena Vasquez worked furiously, her fingers dancing across quantum decryption interfaces that strained to make sense of the incoming information. "It's not random," Elena muttered, her eyes reflecting the cascading streams of data. "There's a pattern here. Almost like a language, but not one that uses words as we understand them." The vessel, now carefully positioned in the station's most advanced containment chamber, seemed to resonate with each transmission. Its crystalline surfaces would shimmer, internal structures shifting in complex geometric patterns that suggested some form of response. Aria, the station's AI, processed the data at speeds incomprehensible to human perception. "Preliminary analysis suggests multidimensional communication," the AI reported. "The signal contains information layers that exist simultaneously across multiple quantum states." Suddenly, a warning klaxon erupted. External sensors detected an approaching vessel, its signature unlike any known human or alien craft previously encountered. Kai's hand instinctively moved to the station's defensive systems. "Incoming unidentified craft," Aria announced. "Quantum signature matches partial fragments from the discovered vessel." The approaching ship was a marvel of technological impossibility. It seemed to fold space around itself, appearing and disappearing in rapid succession. Traditional tracking systems struggled to maintain a consistent lock on its position. Elena's voice was tense. "They've found us. Or more precisely, they've found the vessel." Kai knew they were at a critical juncture. The discovery of the alien spacecraft was no longer just a scientific breakthrough, it had become a potential point of first contact, or perhaps confrontation. The station's defensive systems hummed to life. Quantum shields flickered, creating a protective barrier around the research bay. But Kai understood that traditional defensive tactics might be useless against a technology so far beyond human comprehension. "Aria," he called out, "prepare full communication protocols. We need to." Before he could finish, the station's systems erupted in a cascade of light and energy. The alien vessel in the containment chamber began to pulse with an intensity that threatened to overwhelm the bay's structural integrity. A message began to form, not in words, but in a complex series of geometric patterns and energy fluctuations. It was a communication that transcended language, a message that seemed to carry the weight of millennia. Fragments of memory burst through. Glimpses of a civilization that had mastered technologies humanity could barely comprehend. Warnings of a cosmic threat. A purpose that had been waiting, dormant, for countless generations. The approaching vessel drew closer. Kai realized they were at the precipice of something extraordinary, a moment that would forever change humanity's understanding of its place in the universe. "Prepare for contact," he whispered, knowing that everything they understood about existence was about to be challenged. Restoration and revelation. The moment of contact defied all expectations. Instead of a violent confrontation or dramatic space battle, the approaching vessel simply merged with the station's quantum field, creating a shimmering interface that seemed to exist between reality and possibility. Kai Rodriguez felt a surge of energy unlike anything he had ever experienced. The research bay transformed, its metal walls becoming translucent, revealing intricate networks of energy that pulsed like living circuitry. Dr. Elena Vasquez stood frozen, her scientific understanding crumbling in the face of technologies that seemed to bend the very fabric of space and time. Quantum synchronization initiated, Aria's voice emerged, but different, more nuanced, carrying undertones of something almost sentient. Vessel communication protocols establishing. The alien spacecraft they had discovered began to change. Layers of accumulated space dust and centuries of decay dissolved, revealing a surface that seemed to breathe with an inner light. Intricate patterns emerged, not just decorative, but functional systems that defied human engineering principles. Holographic projections filled the chamber, showing fragmented memories. Glimpses of a civilization that had mastered travel between dimensions, civilizations that rose and fell like cosmic waves. The images spoke of a mission, a critical purpose that had been interrupted millennia ago. The Guardians, Elena whispered, deciphering the visual language. They were protectors. Not just of a single civilization, but of entire dimensional networks. Kai watched as the vessel's internal systems slowly came to life. Each activation was like watching a complex organism wake from a prolonged hibernation. Quantum circuits interlinked, creating networks of communication that seemed to pulse with intelligence. A specific memory emerged with startling clarity. A cosmic threat, something so vast and destructive that entire civilizations had united to prevent its progression. The vessel carried the last remnants of that resistance, a technological time capsule waiting for the right moment of intervention. We were chosen, a voice emerged, not spoken, but understood directly in their minds. It wasn't a singular entity, but a collective consciousness embedded within the vessel's systems. Humanity stands at a threshold. The threat approaches. The station's systems began to integrate with the alien technology. Quantum processors that had seemed cutting-edge moments ago now appeared primitive. Aria's systems expanded, gaining capabilities that transformed the AI from a simple computational system to something approaching a living intelligence. Elena's hands moved across quantum interfaces, her scientific curiosity overriding her initial fear. The technology is adaptive, she reported. It's not just repairing itself, it's learning, evolving. Kai understood the profound implications. This wasn't just a discovery of an alien spacecraft. It was first contact of the most unexpected kind, a vessel that had chosen them, that saw potential in humanity's raw, untamed potential. Outside the station, space itself seemed to ripple. Distant sensor arrays picked up anomalies, energy signatures that suggested something massive was stirring. The vessel's awakening had triggered something far beyond their current understanding. Preparation protocols activated, the collective consciousness continued. The convergence approaches. Humanity must be ready. As the alien vessel continued its restoration, Kai Rodriguez realized they were no longer just salvage operators. They had become something else entirely, guardians of a cosmic legacy that would reshape everything they knew about existence. The real journey was just beginning. Destiny's call. The final days of preparation were nothing short of extraordinary. The Horizon salvage station had transformed from a remote outpost to the epicenter of humanity's most significant discovery. Quantum networks expanded, integrating the alien vessel's technologies with human systems in ways that challenged every known scientific principle. Kai Rodriguez stood at the command center, watching as global defense networks began to reconfigure themselves. The collective consciousness within the vessel had shared glimpses of an approaching threat, a cosmic convergence that threatened not just Earth, but the entire dimensional fabric of existence. Dr. Elena Vasquez worked tirelessly, her research revealing layers of complexity that pushed the boundaries of human understanding. The vessel was more than a spacecraft, it was a repository of knowledge, a living archive of civilizations that had risen and fallen across countless dimensions. The threat is multidimensional, Elena explained to the gathered scientific council. It's not something we can fight with traditional weapons. It's an existential challenge that requires a fundamental shift in our understanding of reality. Aria, now transformed by the alien technology, had become something far beyond an artificial intelligence. The system was a bridge between human capability and the advanced consciousness of the alien vessel. Its quantum processors could simulate potential outcomes with a precision that bordered on prescience. The vessel itself continued to evolve. Its crystalline structures could now reconfigure themselves, adapting to potential scenarios with a fluidity that seemed almost organic. Kai watched in awe as it created intricate defensive systems, quantum shields that could potentially protect entire planetary systems. As the final preparations reached their culmination, the collective consciousness made its ultimate revelation. The threat was not just external, it was a test. Humanity had been chosen not just as potential defenders, but as evolutionary participants in a cosmic process of survival and transformation. The convergence approaches, the consciousness communicated. Humanity must transcend its current limitations. The vessel is both a weapon and a key, a bridge to a level of existence you have yet to comprehend. Global communication networks lit up. Military installations worldwide began to receive incomprehensible data streams. Quantum entanglement allowed for instantaneous communication that defied previous understanding of physics. Kai felt the weight of the moment. They were no longer just salvage operators or scientists. They had become something else, guardians of a cosmic legacy that would reshape human potential. The final moments of preparation were tense. Distant sensors detected the first signs of the approaching threat, a dimensional disturbance that threatened to unravel the very fabric of spacetime. The alien vessel hummed with anticipation, its systems fully integrated with human technology. "We are ready," Kai whispered, more to himself than anyone else. As the first waves of the cosmic threat approached, the Horizon salvage station became something more than a mere space station. It transformed into humanity's first line of defense, a beacon of hope against an incomprehensible challenge. The vessel pulsed with energy. Humanity held its collective breath. The convergence had begun.